How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hope everyone is having a lovely day. The Reds making a pretty big move here today, recalling Emilio Pagan, activating him off the injured list, optioning down to make space on the roster for Pagan, Graham Ashcraft. Again, a bit shocking, but at the same time, you look back and say, we haven't gotten consistency out of Ashcraft. It's just entering this season, entering last season, the hopes, the expectations so high for this guy you want to root for, a guy you thought, hey, third man in the rotation. You know, there was talks at some point in time, maybe higher than that. Unfortunately, though, for the second straight season, we get, this May, June part of the year, and the wheels are starting to fall off for Ashcraft. The difference being this year to last year, I think, was, we've seen the injury. We also seen, hey, maybe the Reds weren't in that same position to push the pedal a little bit harder, to be a little bit more aggressive and say, hey, let's work through it. The other thing being, last season, Ashcraft started the season off really well. He finished the season really well. This season, shaky out the start. Had a good outing, gave up 5 runs. Had a good outing, gave up 5 runs. 9 hits, couple walks in games. Those kind of games you can't have. He walks back down to Louisville now. ERA just over 5. WHIP just under 1.5. Just not major league starter numbers. Not in a rotation where he's got a whole point, a whole run a lot. He's got his ERA is 5. The next guy, Montas sitting right around 4.02. That's how big the gap is between him, number 4, and number 5, I should say, and then number 4 in your rotation. And when you're Red saying, hey, I think you got some young guys in the system. You got Martinez that can possibly fill this role. It's not the right thing to do right now to let this guy work through the kinks when we got other guys that can step up and perform. And that's unfortunate because, again, you want to see Ashcraft succeed. You want to see this guy play, and it's just, you see what he can do when he's at his best. But unfortunately, it's not been there. As a guy that's a ground ball pitcher, you got to find ways to get weak contact. Guys can't be squaring up your ball. And this season, barrel percentage, 8.3%. That's compared to last season's 6.9. Exit velocity, 91.2. That's opposed to last season's 88. Numbers like that, again, when you're a predominant ground ball pitcher, you can't have. You got to be getting weak contact to be getting guys out. And that's what Graham Ashcraft's been struggling with. Not just that, you start to wonder about the health of Graham Ashcraft. And the reason we bring this up is, well, obviously, the injury reset came back, he looked better last year, but not just that, but he came into the league throwing 97 on average. Fastball's coming in there 97 on average. Last season, averaged 96.5. A little bit of a drop, not a big deal. This season, 94.8. Losing a lot of velocity on that fastball. And again, we know how big those power pitchers are in the league, how big it can be just to lose a couple miles per hour in that fastball. And when you do lose that fastball a little bit, again, you have to have the stuff. You have to have the ability to make guys make weak contact. You have to have a way to fool guys with your breaking pitches. And just, we haven't seen that out of Graham this season, unfortunately. And you wonder if everything's all right there. Because he's 26. He's 26. It's not that time where you start to say we're losing a little bit of stuff on the fastball. And typically you're not seeing a guy say, let's hurl it a little bit slower. Now when that's what's getting a lot of guys out in the league. So a little interesting development there. We'll see what happens. Nonetheless, though, hoping for the best. Hopefully Graham Ashcraft, again, because we've seen this guy last season, April, last season, September, season before. We've seen this guy go on stretches where he can dominate. This season, we just haven't seen any stretch like that. And again, he's pitched over 6 1/3 innings, never all season. I think that's another concern here. It's like you can look at that 5 ERA and say, okay, what else are we getting out of him now? Are we getting a horse? Are we getting a guy that can go 7? Can he log a 7? Keep, kind of a reset the bullpen day. But the problem is he hasn't been going deep in games either. So it's sort of a double whammy here for Graham Ashcraft. Because at least if you're going deep into games, you can look past an ERA a little bit more. But when you're going 4 innings, 5 innings consistently, only going 6 innings a couple times this season, and you're consistently wearing down that bullpen, makes it difficult. When your team struggles to win games, Graham Ashcraft has 0 wins on the season when the Reds have scored fewer than 6 runs. A concern, because this is, again, you want your pitchers to keep you in games. And the Reds bullpen this season very impressively, have only lost one or only blown one game. The Reds have one loss after the 6th inning so far this season. Bullpen's been stellar. So again, you look back, say Ashcraft, this team's having a hard time winning games, and that reflects on him. Nonetheless, love y'all's thoughts. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.